Are you saved, my brothers and sisters? Well, get right up here and say a sinner's prayer and get yourself saved. It's all you got to do. Yada, yada, yada. We hear it all the time. Are you saved? Hi, I am Ryan Zell. Let's take a look at some scripture. 1 Corinthians 4, 3-4. But with me it is a very small thing that I should be judged by you or by any human court. I do not even judge myself. I am not aware of anything against myself, but I am not thereby acquitted. It is the Lord who judges me. Notice that the Apostle Paul is saying that he does not even judge himself as to whether he is saved or acquitted, but says the opposite of I am saved. But it is the Lord who judges, not I or you. On the contrary, the Bible condemns those who judge themselves saved. Let's take a look at the parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector. He also told this parable to some who trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. 2 men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, saying, God, I thank thee that I am not like other men, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week. I give tithes of all that I get. But the tax collector, standing far off, would not even lift up his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but he who humbles himself will be exalted. This parable could easily be called a parable of the Protestant and the Catholic. We hear their self-righteousness blaring out of their mouths all the time. Jesus addressed this parable to those who were convinced of their own righteousness and despised everyone else. I am saved because of the righteousness of Christ, which he has credited to me. Scripture doesn't say any such thing. If you are not truly righteous, God will condemn you. God does not acquit the wicked. God never declares someone righteous unless that person is indeed righteous. God cannot deceive nor be deceived. God is all truth and love. He cannot declare someone righteous unless that person is truly righteous. To say otherwise makes God out to be a liar. Proverbs 17:15. Whoever acquits the wicked, whomever condemns the just, both are an abomination to the Lord. It's an abomination to the Lord to declare yourself saved. And I am not judging you saved or acquitted. That is God's judgment. It is not mine to make. Galatians 6:7. Make no mistake, God is not mocked, for a person will reap only what he sows. As for assurance of salvation, the gospel isn't an insurance policy against going to hell. It is a way of living the life God prepared for you in advance, that you would walk in the light of Christ, reflecting that light for all to see, and by your life proclaiming the gospel. It is not just about being saved, it's about being made holy as well. Protestants are the ones who proclaim themselves saved. We hear it all the time. But it is Catholics who lean upon God's judgment, not their own. Protestants believe they are saved by making one single act of faith at one single point in time in their lives. Nowhere does Scripture say such a thing. Scripture talks in many places how we are saved, but not one of them says we are saved by one act of faith at one point in time. As Catholics, we believe that salvation is a process which begins with our baptism and continues throughout our lifetimes, just as the Bible teaches. In 1 Peter 3:20, it says we are saved by baptism, but more so, we believe that salvation is a process. It occurs in the past, the present, and the future. Romans 8:24 says, for in this hope we were saved. And in Ephesians 2:5-8, by grace you have been saved. So I am already saved. In 1 Corinthians 1:18, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. And in 2 Corinthians 2:15, who are being saved and among those who are perishing. So I am being saved. Romans 5:9-10, much more will be saved by him from the wrath of God. And 1 Corinthians 3:15, he will suffer loss, though he himself will be saved. I will be saved. And notice the tenses that I am already saved. I am being saved and I will be saved. The Apostolic Catholic Church believes exactly what the Bible teaches, that justification is a process. This is Ryan Zell. Blessings to all. Please subscribe to the Zell Challenge channel and engage us in our comment section.